So it might seem like a very simple question, a very easy question with a very easy answer, but it really isn't the case. We can learn from each other. The video that you saw, when the little girl went off with the guy, she was holding his hand and he was leading her off for the purposes of sex. Her mother was trafficking her. And I showed that video to a lady in Trinidad, and when she watched the video, she told me she believed the girl was going with her father. And then when the lady turns 26 and gets into a car, this same lady in Trinidad said, that's her father's car. And I give that example to the people I speak to say that we can all learn. I'm not an expert, I'm still learning, but I have information that I can impart to others. So as I said earlier, at the age of 5, a child is often sexually abused. And what's important to know, when that happens at age 5, it creates holes in the brain, kind of spaces. And as a result of those spaces, that child will have issues. Sometimes they talk too much, talk too little, have an eating disorder, cut their wrists, they're slim but they think they're fat, they're beautiful but think they're ugly. There's something different about them. Maybe it's anger, depression, something that's a little bit off. And I say to children, right now, you can conjure up in your mind somebody, there's somebody you know, child or adult, and something is different about them. What's also important to note, when a child is sexually abused at age 5, it's usually by their father, grandfather, cousin, uncle, neighbor. It's not by a complete stranger. And then what happens around the age of 10, the child unintentionally, and that's an important note, unintentionally puts themselves in a compromising position to be sexually abused again. And then when they turn around age 16, they start to have sex with their boyfriend or girlfriend, depending on the gender of the child. Their heart gets broken, and then when they turn 18, then they become a prostitute. But understand this, not every single person who's been sexually abused at age 5 becomes a prostitute. Some of these individuals become promiscuous, which means they have sex with multiple partners. Some of these individuals become transgender, gay, or lesbian. Some of them become like nuns and have sex with nobody. The point is, we cannot judge people. We don't know their past. We don't know what's dictated and led their life to the journey that they're on. Any one of us could befall us. Any one of us could become a victim of trafficking, a victim of sexual exploitation. But what's important to note, with therapy, counseling, help, healing, prayer, those individuals who are abused, their brain can be completely restored. It's scientifically proven. And I say that because a person may be in the room, a person may be watching this video and feel, I was abused, I'm doomed, far from it. As I said, the person's life, it changes, the path is dictated by possibly family, possibly by finances, possibly by an inner strength that they had. And it doesn't mean to say that every person who is a prostitute or transgender or gay or lesbian or acts like a nun was abused. It's just sometimes this is how they choose to take their life's path as a result of what was done to them. So what's important to note is that when something like this has happened, it creates a vulnerability inside of that individual. And that vulnerability places them in a position to be re-abused again. If you think about somebody you know or somebody you've heard of who keeps dating abusive men, you have to wonder why. And that's why I say we could never judge, because these things are very, very deep rooted. It's in the mind. And so the next thing I want to mention is about secrets. Secrets are a big thing. And when a person says secret, can you keep a secret? I want to tell you a secret. Please listen to my secret. They're trying to communicate something to you. And so I know of a child aged 5 in the United States who came to school and said the dog was crying. And the reason the child said that is because they wanted to communicate that there was domestic violence in the home, but they didn't know how to communicate that. Another child came to school around age 5 and said, Daddy's eating my cookie, because she was being sexually abused by her father. The point is, the children were trying to say and express something, and they didn't know how to do it, because they didn't have the age-appropriate terms. And so my question, and I ask this question every time, if somebody says to you, can you keep a secret, what is your response? And my questions are never rhetorical, so it's for you to actually answer out loud, what's your response? Because the point is, when someone says that to you, they want to tell you something. So my question, if someone comes up to you today, somebody you love and care about, and asks you, can you keep a secret? and you say no or it depends, tomorrow they commit suicide, how would you feel? Or how about, true story, can you keep a secret? It depends, or no. And tomorrow they smuggle drugs from Trinidad to England and get put in jail. How would you feel? The point is they're trying to say something to you. I know of a child who was sexually abused from age 4 to 10. For 6 years of their life they were sexually abused. At age 12 the mother found out the abuse had ended. At age 16 the mother and stepfather divorced. At age 24 the guy died. But from the age of 4 to 10 this child was abused for 6 years of their life, and they tried to get help by saying, can you keep a secret? And the response was, I don't know, it depends. What's the secret about? They didn't get a clear yes or no answer. And that child is actually me. I was the child who was sexually abused from age 4 to 10. And understand, as a result of the abuse, it created holes in my brain. And so there are things that I am struggling with even to this day. People see me in a business suit, they hear a British accent and they make an assumption. They hear the word lawyer and they believe that there are dollar bills in my bank account. There is nothing. I'm a volunteer. I've been a lawyer for 3 years, and even before the days of Trump it was difficult for a person like myself. But I believe in doing things honestly and integrally. I've never sold my body, I've never sold drugs, I've done nothing illegally, but I believe that the Lord is the same